Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Blue Blood on the Main Line. I'm your host, Curtis Sumpter, and I'm happy to have my guest, Will Sheridan, in attendance. What's up, Will? What's going on, man? Glad to have you on the show.
The big 3-4. What's going on, Kurt? How you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. I'm doing well. I'm glad to finally have you on the show. I know I've been recruiting you for a little bit, but, just trying to get on each other's schedules over the holiday season has been a little tough, but finally you're here.
For sure. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to jump right into it, man. I want you to introduce everyone, tell them who you are for those fans who are not familiar with who Will Bump Sheridan is, number 50, class of 07. And what a big contribution, he's made to the program. Why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
My name's Will Sheridan. I did wear the big 5L and ode to my parents, who were both police officers when I was growing up. As contrary to what the internet says, I started 4 years at Villanova, not 3 years. I don't know why they think that. I was the class of 07 with Nardi and Ross Condon, and then you joined us with your redshirt year because of your injury. We went to the Sweet 16, Elite 8. To go to the Elite 8, Kyle Lowry threw me an inbound pass that got goaltended, and we went to the Elite 8 against Boston College. I am the only basketball player to ever be an orientation counselor. I did it twice. I really do bleed blue and white for Villanova. I'm a Wildcat. I think the Wildcat is named after me, Will the Cat. And I'm in it. That's my family. This is my family. I love Villanova. So
awesome, man. And that's great, Will. And you know what? I feel sorry for the fans who don't know you, who haven't had the opportunity to meet you, because I think by the end of this interview, they'll know, what they missed, what a great person you were and how you contributed to, the Villanova culture in every way, on and off the court. Like you said, you bleed, blue and white. So I want to start talk about just your high school recruitment. Like, what led you to Villanova? I knew you a little bit, I want to say, because we played for rival AAU teams. But I want to say we definitely didn't have much dialogue, but I knew who you were, and I knew when Coach Wright was recruiting you, you were considering us. But what led you to actually ultimately joining the squad?
Yeah, so obviously I was a big fan of Coach Wright and what he was trying to put together. Joe Jones was recruiting me, Fred Hill, and then they all were at Nova. And if you can remember, we got Randy the year before, Allen, you to play I thought you was gonna play the 3, and then Jay was gonna play the 5, and I thought I was gonna play the 4. And I played for the Tim Thomas Players, and we all played each other in that New Jersey, New York area. Even though I was from Delaware, I played on the Jersey AAU team. And then Nardi was going to commit, and he was a point guard. So I just felt like, excuse me, I felt like it was the right fit. Contrary to what a lot of people thought back then, but I thought it was the right fit for me, and it wasn't tú far from home, being that I'm from Delaware. It's about 45 minutes away from my house, door to door. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was a good fit, man, to be honest with you. I took a lot of visits, and I'm petty too. Like, I didn't want to wear like an orange jersey.
Who else was recruiting you?
Honestly, like, I really didn't want to go to like Tennessee or Virginia or like Stanford, Notre Dame. Like, their campus was dry. It was just like, Nova just seemed like the best
class
option.
With just style. That's what it was. It didn't look right. That's all.
I'm a navy blue guy. Like, so that was part of the process. And I thought I was going to fit in and, develop and, maybe take some time as an underclassman and, work my way into the lineup. And then I got there, and we had the suspensions and the foam card. Like, imagine like phone cards now, or whatever those things are called, like, or like a landline now that we got cell phones. Now players can get like paid to be who they are in college. So we had the suspensions, and me and Nardi was like leading the country in minutes. We had that overtime game against Redlands. I was averaging 47 minutes a game in a 40-minute game, the first 5 games. And, you know, it was a rough run, but it just threw me in the deep end, and I just learned to swim. And I just, you know, I think for my style of play, like I just really loved being a part of something bigger than myself. And I don't know. I mean, Kurt, you might can say this. I might be the most selfless teammate you ever had. Like I wasn't really, I mean, I look back and I'm like, I guess I wish I would have shot more and been more of a threat, but who's going to get an offensive rebound and throw it to Alan Ray to get a 3? Like, come on.
Me.
So I fit in with the 4 killers that I was on a team with, and it just worked.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, man, you came into Villanova, you know, you hit the ground off and running. I mean, before you even, you know, made your first basket, like you said, you was a, you know, orientation. No, I'm sorry, that was just sophomore year. He was orientation counselor, right?
During your senior year, yeah.
Yeah,
But I did go to
orientation. Right.
Different than most student athletes.
Oh, that's my mistake then. But you're right. You know, you came on campus and immediately suspensions, and like you're thrust into the starting lineup rotation. You know, we were undermanned. We're playing with, you know, walk-ons, guys, just everybody was just mixed. And you did a great job, like you said, you and Nardi as freshmen, because Mike was supposed to redshirt that year, and with everything going on,
it was like me, Nardi, Ross Condon, Baker Dunleavy, Mikey Claxton, and then we can get one scholarship player. And, you know, like Marcus was playing with us and Chris would play with us one game. It was wild. And you got to understand, like, we're not talking about playing at the Fen. I'm talking about we used to practice in Jake Nevin, like no insulation, brick gym, like freezing up there, practicing fast breaks. We went to the NIT my freshman year, your sophomore year. It was really, we had to really, really grind it out. It was a whole different animal.
Tell me your thoughts. So your freshman year, our first game is against what, Temple at the Leopold Center
at midnight. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Midnight, 12 p.m. Now it's 7 of us, because I think because we played myself, Alan, Randy, you, Mike. We had our starting 5.
Okay.
I think our bench was Tommy, Mikey, and Baker, right? That might have been our bench. We played against a fully equipped Temple squad. I'm talking Marty Collins, David Hawkins, Antoine Robinson, Dustin Salisbury. I mean, the whole squad. I mean, that game was lit. We talking full crowd capacity, 12 o'clock at night.
And they brought us in the Lions Den to slaughter us.
And then we spanked them by 30. What did you think of that?
They got on a plane and flew to California to play Redlands.
What did you think of that? See, I was used to that. I've been on both sides of that. You know, I feel like, you know, I've been on the losing end of that, you know, freshman year coming into it, and also on the winning end. Like, what did you think your first college game, you're beating Temple, 12 o'clock midnight game shown, and we blow them out?
I was wild nervous, but honestly, like, I was used to winning. So I didn't think we were going to lose. And I definitely think, you know, I didn't think they was going to, you know, intimidate us, or I knew we had, you know, a solid 5 and we was going to play hard, and coach was coach. So, I mean, I was ready. I just was nervous. I remember I got past the ball on the baseline. I went to go dunk it, and I pulled it back like that, and the ball slipped out of my hands. That was like our first turnover in college. That's great. I remember that so vividly, Kurt. Like, you have no idea. Like,
well, I'm telling you right now.
What'd you say?
It's a good thing. I'm telling you right now, it's a good thing. You know, we had no subs, because you know what would have happened in any other situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had hands though. I could catch. I don't know about the others, but I definitely had hands. But I was used to winning. You know, coming from Delaware, I played for the most successful winningest coach in Delaware basketball, Stan Waterman, who now coaches at Del State. I hope to see them play Villanova like next year or in the future. Mm-hmm. And we won a state championship my junior year, and we were always favored to win. So I might have lost, I don't know, less than 10 games in high school.
How many times did you lose to the Long Island Panthers?
Never. We smacked y'all.
Never. Oh, I never lost. You never played on the team that lost. I know I beat the players a couple times.
Maybe I think you used to play against John Allen's year because Tootie and them. Because my team, we had Jamar Nutter, Marquise Webb, Demetrius Nichols, Darryl Watkins, me, J.R. Smith, Art Bowers, Bashir Mason. Like we had a squad. Like
I forgot. Yeah, you guys.
I don't know. I think
you guys were a little bit younger.
Maybe when we were like sophomores playing up, but I don't know. I think we had like the number one team in the country. But y'all was good. I never even put two and two together. You know, I wasn't a New Yorker back then. I lived in New York for 15 years, so now I get the geography of it all. But Long Island is not New York City. And to me, I thought Long Island was New York City, you know? You from Brooklyn, A-Ray is from the Bronx, Jay Frey is from Long Island. That to me, that's when you live in Delaware, you think that's all the same. Like,
right.
That's not the same, bro. That's totally different.
So we fast forward now. So, you know, your freshman year, you know, you get that out the way. You got your feet wet. Sophomore year is when, you know, the program really took off. You know, our junior year, like where everything meshed. You know, my class, we took our bumps and bruises first year trying to learn. UNRD came instantly and was like you said, like the perfect mesh with us. And then we go through a year of figuring it out. In junior year, it's like we came and we were like rolling. I mean,
you know what it is? It's like that postseason after my freshman year, that was 2003, I think. We played in the NIT, and I just never wanted to feel like that again. Like it felt like we was practicing to like no disrespect to the National Invitational Tournament, but like when you're 19, 18 years old, you're not trying to play for like, you're trying to be in the dance. You're trying to like go for the big one. And it just didn't feel right. I never wanted that again. So every time I stepped on the court my sophomore year, it was like, we not losing. Like I'm gonna do whatever. I don't even know. I might be the all-time charge taken player. Like I'm playing against, like you got to think, right? It was like if you wasn't in the game or if Jay wasn't in the game, it was literally like me versus Roy Hibbert, Jeff Green, Patrick Ewing Jr., or Josh Boone,
Charlie,
like
Okafor,
that whole Rudy Gay, like Hilton Armstrong, like Aaron Gray. All these guys are like 7 foot. Mm-hmm. I'm 6'8" with sneakers on.
Right.
You know, so I had to just go out there and we really had to play small ball and be quicker and defend. And I mean, post defense against a 7-footer. Like I was watching when I was in Connecticut, I was watching our guys play against the Purdue team. And I was like, man, they had a 7'4" dude. And then off the bench, they had even a better backup, I think, number 50 or whatever. He's like an All-American. I'm just like, woof, I would have loved to play against them. Like, that was
but we did play against them. That was UConn. You know, they had 5 or 6, 10 guys.
I mean, every team back also when we was in the Big East, every team was like what was the worst team was like maybe like even a team that like Boston College had Jared Dudley and Craig Smith. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like every team had a couple killers on their team, and it was just 16 teams, and you had to play everybody twice. It was wild.
I think what we had, everyone had their lane, and everyone knew it, and everyone excelled in their lane, and no one tried to be something they weren't. I think in the beginning, everyone wants to be something, but then you have to figure out, you know, where your strength lies and what's, for one, going to keep you on the floor to be successful. And like you said, like your thing, and like you said, you might be, you are, to me, like the most unselfish player I've ever, you know, had the opportunity to, you know, be on a team with. You never wanted to shoot the ball. You would shoot the ball. You know, we had to beg you to shoot the ball in order to make the defense play everybody. But your idea was, hey, how can I, you know, help this offense by setting the screen, getting Mike Allen or Randy open, or setting a cross screen from Kurt to get the ball on the block or get the rebound, take this charge, defend. And that's where I think it freed your mind up, and freed everyone up, because we always knew what you was going to do. You know what I mean? If you took a shot, we didn't know you were going to take a shot, possibly. That was the only thing we didn't know. If you took a shot, I was like, oh, shoot, he shot it? All right, cool. But other than that, we know exactly what you were going to do. And that was the beauty of it, you know what I mean? Because you were dependable, you know what I mean? And it helped our whole entire team. And like you said, we were undersized, so you're 6'8" with sneakers on, and I'm 6'6.5" with sneakers on, or whatever you want to call it, 6'7" roughly. So, I mean, I was just, a lot of, hard, and just us being on the same page, along with Jay Frey when he was in there. So,
he was suffering with injuries and just trying to overcome that, and that's mental and physical. And we watched him go through that with Jeff and all the physical therapy. And all we would hear about is how Brooke Sales used to play. And I always thought that Chris Charles and Marcus Austin was really talented. But they were there before Coach Wright was there. So he went with me. And I was never going to let the team down, because I felt like that was the ultimate respect, to just have me in the game and have me take my lumps. And then by the time I was a junior, I was like, what's up? Like, Wayne Simeon, what's up? Craig Smith, what's up?
Yeah.
David Padgett, what's up? Aaron Gray, what's up? Like, who wants some? I'm not getting roasted. The big man was not roasting me, for sure. It was not going to be a workout session in the post, for sure.
I mean, and that's one thing. If anybody got worked out, in the game, somebody, had to get, we would definitely, as brothers, joke a little bit, but we knew how serious it was, and we knew how personal, anyone would take, competition. No one ever wanted to get shown up, especially if you felt you let the team down. But definitely that we all had that pressure.
Who roasted us in college?
Oh my God!
My freshman year, Jameer Nelson definitely was a savage.
Yeah,
I know when we played against.
So your freshman year was my sophomore year. I want to say the only people I feel like that really like roasted was Troy Bell, Ben Gordon, and Ryan Gomes had like maybe 2 games. And I was mad because Coach would never let me guard him, and I used to be so mad. So I'm like, I don't care if I foul out of it. I just want to, check him, but I couldn't. He would never let me check him. But
bro, Ben Gordon, I took a charge on Ben Gordon at the Big East tournament my freshman year, and I still feel his knee right here at my chest, bro. Like, I took that I took the charge, and he was a senior stud, so they called it a block, and I was like,
yeah, Ben was nice, man.
They was nice for sure. Yeah, it was a whole different world back then, man. Like. Everybody was nice. Top to bottom, our league was solid.
No, I agree. I mean, that's why they call it the old Big East. I mean, you never could take a night off. And
Syracuse, Hakeem Ward, like dunking from the dotted.
Dunking from the dotted. You know what I'm saying? Like you had so many, athletic guys, and Louisville. Like I said, when Louisville came in, and then Marquette came in.
How about when like our freshman year, I remember we went to Miami, and we played against, Miami was in the Big East back then, and I think it was like Darius Miles or somebody was on the scouting report, and they was like, no threes. First play of the game, he get the ball, he shoot a 3. Coach set me down, and then didn't start me in the second half. I played 2 minutes that game. Look at that. And I remember Coach coming up to me and been like, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. Then we was like this after that. It was like, he knew I was on board.
Right.
Vividly. I had to catch that plane home, ride the bus, man. I just was like, I'll never mess up the scouting report again, ever. So, but yeah, I mean, that's how it was. We had to every shot, every scouting report, everything counted.
Everything counted, man. So like what was it? My junior year, I get hurt now, right? We talking about that year, we're rolling. I get hurt. Now, like you're literally our inside presence.
That's it, right?
Yeah, yeah, like you're literally like,
and we had Kyle
Randy,
too, right?
Randy goes to the fore.
Yeah.
That starts the whole thing. So now even your role increases more now too, because now you have to be more aggressive.
It's like if I don't get the rebound, then who's getting it? It was me, Randy, Allen, Nardi, Kyle. That's wild, bro. My high school and middle school team was bigger than that. I didn't play the 5 until I got to college. I played the 4 in middle school, bro. I was a 6'10" kid in middle school.
Bump. It don't matter. You was on the number 1 team in the country, holding
That's
it down.
so wild. Remember?
That's what I'm saying. He's holding
when we played Kansas at Kansas my freshman year, Nardi was literally calling the plays, and it literally sounded like this.
Yeah, we couldn't hear. Remember, coach was like, "All right, we're not going to run." He was like, just run the same thing. We're just going to run motion the whole game, because that's till this day, that's probably still the loudest arena I feel like I've played at, where I literally was like, "No, I don't know what you're saying, what call," and we just said, "Hey, we just gonna play, like read and react." And we played a good game, and we stayed in the game, just playing off of just regular basic principles.
Yeah, man. I went back to a speech, and I didn't realize how big that gym is. It's called the Allen Fieldhouse or something. I spoke to the student athletes there, and I was like, "Oh, this is like huge!" Like when you're in a game, and just like when we used to play West Virginia. I mean, the Mountaineer were shooting off guns and stuff on the timeout. Like that was not. We was Mid-Atlantic boys, like New York, New Jersey, Philly. Like it wasn't. That wasn't that West Virginia culture.
Do you remember that game at Kansas? So we're warming up, and the fans are there like an hour, like in the student section, doing our warm-ups, heckling us crazy. And
I got the worst. I got the heckling the worst, just so we're clear.
And Baker's gonna kill me for this, but Baker went up, I think, to like dunk the ball, and he slipped off the rim. And thank God he didn't kill himself, but it looked like he killed himself, kind of like Scorpion off of like Ridiculousness. And then like the crowd, it was probably like a good 10,000 already right there, like literally just
roasted him the whole
laugh. Like it was like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little intimidating, coming back out there. I was like, oh man, we're definitely in for a game. But
they rocked us there too, and we brought them back. We came to Philly. They came to Philly, and it was that storm. And everybody talks about how that game was like that was the turning point. Like we smacked them. Wayne sent me with an elbow, bro, to my neck, bro. And that game, I still feel that. I feel that Ben Gordon, me right here, and his elbow to my neck, bro. I think he was on the cover of like the NCAA, like whatever video game we played back that year or something.
Right.
Like the next year, I'm like, yo, I guarded this guy. That's crazy.
I mean, despite the basketball part, I want to talk a little bit too about just your influence, like on the team. You know what I mean? I think you definitely had another influence on the team, off the court, positive, vibrant, energy, swag, whatever you want to call it,
I think Kurt, as far as like being a well-rounded student athlete, I was prepared for college in a different way than I think everyone else was, because I went to like I went to the kind of high school where like we were academically competitive, where I was getting like B's my freshman year, and they're like, "So are you going to compete academically?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I was like class president. I was involved. So for me, it was like they cultivated the whole person. So I brought that swag to school. And then also we didn't wear uniforms. We went to a private school. So like a khaki, but like a nice shoe. I remember.
You ain't got to go. Let me stop you there. On that part, I was good.
Yeah.
But
you in New York,
else, you fine. Everything else, because I'm just joking, but nah, keep going.
Yeah, we was all swaggy though. I mean, that was back when like
you was
getting a little bit tighter, and we was wearing like blazers with jeans and Pradas, and That was
But I
the
want to
challenge.
talk about but like you said, and I didn't know that too. But like you said, you was definitely you were more prepared. Like you came in like hitting the ground, like running, knowing what you wanted to do. You knew your interests. I felt like people like I want to figure this out. I don't know what I want. He was like, nope, I'm doing this. I want to do that. I want to do that. And you weren't scared or apologetic, about it. And people question like, what? No, this is what I want to do. And then, as they got a chance to know, he was like, oh, okay, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like he not just gonna, conform and do what people expect him to do, or you know what I mean, he gonna do what he wants to do. And
But also, y'all were like my first set of brothers. Like in high school, you play, you go home, but like we was always together, always hooping, always like always, just I grew up an only child.
yeah,
Well,
only
my mother's
child.
only child. My mother's only child. So like in the household, like so when I got to be around this group of 9 or 12 guys, that's it. That's all I had. Like to me, and it was like my whole life. I lived in my head thinking like, if I'm my authentic self, how are people going to react to me? And, over and over and over and over again, you guys just proved like, bro, we don't like be you. Like, and it just took longer. It might've took longer than it should have, but like, I always just was encouraged to just be the best version of myself, the most authentic version of myself. And I think that really affected my whole experience.
And I'm glad you said that, because I think we took that we took that personally. I mean, for like you said, like it's family, and I mean family is family. You're
Right.
not gonna say that, and that's one thing I want to say. With the community that we have there, it's like once you commit to Villanova, once you decide to go down that road, and be all in. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, be all in. Then you all in, and whatever challenges, whatever comes with it, you all in. And like I said, like you brought so much awareness, so many other different aspects and like to the team. Like we
Thanks, man.
needed that injection of like what I mean, some
Yeah,
reality
I mean, I just
into the
felt like,
team.
y'all, I think Randy said it his senior year in his speech is that, he had never been close to someone like me who wasn't a city kid. So like I grew up in Bear, Delaware, where like the closest Wawa is like, a mile away. Whereas like now that I lived in New York for 15 years, like I understand like the culture of just going to the bodega or the corner store, like or getting on the train, like that whole vibe. I had no idea. That wasn't my experience. So what I brought was like that country boy strength and like that, like I'm going to outwork somebody. And like that I didn't even know I was that, but I was compared to like, you guys that were from
a little bit of gullible. You a little gullible too, because that was not being in the city. But that's all good though. We learn from each other though. We learn from each other though.
I mean, I definitely was naive. I mean, you got to understand, Kurt. Like, when we got to Nova, that was the most basketball I had ever played in my life. Like, we never stopped playing basketball. Like, we had shoot around class, workout class, practice class, go to sleep, wake up, do it again, conditioning, open gym. I'm like, for real? Like, when do I get to do me? Like, but then you get into it and you realize like you gotta work. You only got this little bit of time to develop and to become what you're gonna be. And then that's your legacy for the rest of your life. Like, bro, we had to have a sense of urgency because we wasn't traditionally successful, like as far as wins and losses until after my sophomore year or until my sophomore year. And it wasn't like we had like a tradition of getting all-American players. We had this one class, a supporting class, and then a couple players every year until coach, like he would say the stone cutter, like, or what is it, like where you just keep tapping at the stone and then one day it's a beautiful statue, And it was really that. It was real. I mean, even in coaching staff, like Brett Gunning, like in his scout reports and Billy Lang in your ear, like Billy Lang and Fred Hill, and like you're just like, what is going on? Like yo, let me just chill. But no, you gotta have that. You gotta apply that type of pressure so that you can make a diamond. You can make it like make it something solid and meaningful. And now when you look back, like I don't have to prove nothing to nobody at the Villanova because I've been through it. I practiced the press for 3 hours in the cold gym in Jake Nevin when we didn't have like Nike Elite stuff. We had, the 4X Villanova hoodie that was just off of East Bay probably or something. Like, bro, like I went through, I was in the struggle. I was part of the grind, and no one ever can take that experience away from me. And also I apply all that type of stuff to any adversity I have in life. Like so I learned so many lessons just going through the struggle.
And I learned, like I said, I've learned, a lot of lessons as well, going through the struggles there and learning from you. One of the, I know my 5th year, your senior year, now it's like we're roommates, myself, the senior class, me, you, Mike, Ross. Not that we were never, close. Everyone was close before, but now like we're all like living together. I think I lived with Mike the year before.
Yeah,
so
I lived by myself.
Second year.
I lived by myself junior year,
which was my second year live with Mike. So I had Mike's. I experienced that already, but experienced it now. And you experienced it with Mike too. So we gonna say that. And and Ross,
all of y'all was doing your thing, man. I mean,
no, I'm talking about just. We ain't gonna get into all of that, but anyway, we needed.
Listen, I was doing my thing too.
We needed a maid. I'm just saying, we needed a maid. We needed a maid. That's all I'm gonna say. We needed a maid. That's
my room was clean. I don't know about y'all.
My room was always clean too. Like that's because I was. Trust me, I think nobody I ever lived with or in college made their beds. I think maybe Ross did. I think I noticed Ross did my fifth year. I noticed Ross made his bed. I say, oh shoot, I'm not the only one that make my bed every day. Like people make their bed and Ross kept his bed made.
I'm definitely not dirty, but I'm definitely messy.
Oh, I know, man. Like I said, I live with you.
Clothes
I came everywhere. In there with Mike a couple times, and I was like, okay, all right, this is
what it was. We all had like 30 pair of shoes, and they big shoes, so like they would take up those little rooms. And everything was everywhere, man. We lived in a whole different time. Facebook was the Facebook. The internet was still kind of like, like now I look at people. I got an organic 7,000 followers on social on Instagram. People, freshmen in college, they go to college, they be on TV. They got 20,000, 50,000, 1 million followers just by being just existing. Like it's just a whole different world. Like. We used to use PS2s as DVD players. Like, come on.
Technology is going crazy,
bro. Yeah, it's just a whole different world. Like, and it was a different time, but it was definitely good to be roommates our senior year. I think it gave you a different perspective onto me, and all that.
I think we definitely, our relationship. Grew more as friends.
Sure.
Because I wasn't just seeing you, at breakfast on a court of game. You know what I mean? It's not like we were roommates on the road. It was more the downtime and studying and in between. What's going on?
Even going out.
Going out. A
relationship. You would see who I was in a relationship with senior. They'd be at the apartment. Like all that was just so next level, bro.
I was like a reality
TV show, bro.
I remember that day vividly. Like, I remember walking in, and I was like, okay, like
you're like
on the couch. I'm just thinking like that was normal. Anybody could have been sitting on the couch. That was normal. Right. That was not weird at all. And then when we had a conversation, and you expressed to me, how you felt. I was like, oh wow. I was like, okay, but I mean,
I was legit dating somebody that went to Penn Law for 3 years of college, and I was just on campus at Penn Law. I was just on campus at Penn, like. So when we would play at the Palestra, they'd be like, Sheridan, I seen you, like wild. The stuff they were saying, and it was like, bro, I gotta live my life, bro. Like, what I'm supposed to do?
Well, I want to tell you right now, we used to have little side huddles. and like, yo, we gotta go crazy on these guys. There's no way we gonna let, you know what I'm saying, people, talk about our brother like that. Like that was extra fuel. Like I know it was fuel for you, but trust me, like we all took that personally,
Yeah.
because it's our family. I think anyone, you know what I mean? Like, and that's why we said like we learned so much from you, because the amount of courage it took to be, in a national spotlight. And you know what I'm saying? Like, take your time,
Wild.
take your time, you know what I'm saying, and figure it out. Um, I mean, and again, like no one ever wanted to cast anything, everyone just
Yeah.
wanted to wait for you, you know what I mean? And then when you were ready, we was like, bet, we know what's good. It ain't
Yo,
even
I
nothing. It
remember
ain't even
coming
nothing.
out
Let's
to
go.
Randy and
Go
Marcus
grab a
like
rebound.
separate, and they literally were like, "I know."
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what?
go grab
And
a
I was
rebound.
like,
That's it.
but you gotta understand. I mean, I used to go to counseling, bro, like on campus counseling, because I was struggling freshman year. I just like was going through all this stuff, and that was the way I dove into Villanova basketball. It was like I said in my Delaware Basketball Hall of Fame speech, I think Coach looked at me and saw that I wasn't a killer, but he saw that I was in pain. And so he coached that pain. He coached that I knew I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. So he knew I would do anything for our team, because this was my family at the time. Like this is what I had to hold me up and prop me up. So it was like, Coach, what dribble handoff, set a screen, go elbow that dude in the face, whatever. Like I'm gonna do that, because off the court, this is it. This is all I have. At that time, that's how I felt, And if I was this version of myself, then I think we'd have even been better, to be honest with you. Because now, like, you can't tell me anything. But
it's so funny. I guess, you say that, and I really think, we just have like really, really good people, really good guys on the team, because I felt like everyone was on the same page and thinking the same, but without really saying it to each other.
And it could have went left.
But everyone was going out their way to, you know what I mean, try to make it, comfortable and make sure everything was cool. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it's all love. Guys are guys. We joke, we have fun, but you know what I'm saying? We all knew what was up at the end of the day. And we didn't care what was going on. And I think that everyone, now that, we're out of that, environment, and then you were able to, enjoy your life and live your life. I think everyone is like so happy now. It's like, someone who might have been falsely incarcerated for so long, and then now they're out. You know what I mean? Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like I hang around you now, Will, and like it's even more. I enjoy, you know what I mean, you just being you, man.
Right.
It's
I had to learn that. I had to learn to live my truth. And the most manly thing you can do is be who you are, like all the time. And I think people just challenge me not to be like a man in the sense of like gender construction, but like an adult. Like I make adult decisions, and I don't try to force my life on anyone else, but I'm going to be me, because you're allowed to be you, and I because of sports, I have all this developed character and experience to leverage into anything I do. So it makes me kind of an anomaly, because I have lived in this environment of sports and thrived and want to be successful, and then in arts and in nightlife and in music, and all of that is a part of me. And now I'm on a different path, like professionally with my career, and I can bring all those experiences to that. And I think all I'm here to do is inspire people not to be insecure, young and old. People younger than me not to be insecure. People older than me that's struggling with who they are. All I want people to do is just be themselves, because you can't be successful unless you are being your authentic self. Like you can't bring anything to the table that has like depth if you're hiding something, or like being reserved. Like you're never going to get anywhere, or you're never going to accomplish anything big or on a large scale until you just let go of your insecurities and just live your best life.
So let's say you lived your best life. I mean, we ain't gonna go into a whole bunch of details, but when you graduated Villanova, you tried the basketball thing that lasted a little quick. You went over there.
Bro, I went overseas. I played on 3 teams in 1 year, 1 season. And it was really weird because like back then Italy was a little more conservative than America and it's very Catholic. So I would come out to practice and my teammates would literally be like, banana. And I'm like, are you making fun of me because I'm gay or because I'm black? I don't even know. Like which one? Like, and it was very consistent on all 3 teams. Like,
right.
And I'm like, bro, I'm destroying you in practice. Like, what?
Right.
Like, what is the, what? But that was, I'm a 21-year-old going to another country to basically take someone's job.
Right.
And, I just, that was a different level of adversity. I had already come out. I had already developed my life.
You never
experienced I had to go
that.
back in and it was just like, and it was no smartphones back then, right? No apps. Mm-hmm. Like no way to like network or meet people, and it wasn't for me. It was not for me.
And that's okay because you went and then pursued another interest of yours that I think we all kind of had an idea you liked. We didn't know how serious you were into it, but music, and that will go.
I mean, it started with writing, right? So like,
it started with
athlete. Remember the student athlete talent shows, bro? They was like, "Oh my god,
how did I forget that?"
And then I got up there.
That's why I said, Will, you were just different. Like the talent shows, you would shut the talent show down with a poem, like spoken word, like something that was just, bro, like everyone was like, "Damn, that was deep, bro." Like that was like really, really deep,
Like Coach Wright stayed that whole time just to hear like the spoken word. Like he was in the back on his phone working on a BlackBerry back then, doing all this thing. And he's like, "Is it down? Is it time yet? Is it time yet?" Then he watched it. You're right. Will, like there's no other way to say it, but I was different, bro.
Will, you were so talented with that. I mean, like you said, I forgot about the spoke. We used to talk, but also, didn't the Philadelphia Inquirer ask you to do like a piece on our team? You were such a good writer. They
Coach was like,
basically,
don't
can you
let
write
this be
for
a
us?
distraction. Don't let this be a distraction. Don't slip up because you think you're putting all this time into this thing. And I was like, nah, Coach, this is easy. I can do this. And so I did like what 8 columns in the Philadelphia Inquirer narrating our journey in the NCAA.
Trust me, I took advantage of those writing skills a couple times. I remember I was like, "Yo, Will, man, I need some help." He was like, "Oh, no problem." I was like, "Really?" He was like, "Nah, I got this." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, this is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? I need you to put it. I know how to do this." I'm like, all right. It was great. I was like, this dude is really, really talented. And then, you got one of the best.
That into a career in New York. It started with me writing at The Source magazine. I worked under Amy Andrea, the general manager. I was published like 3 times, but I ghost wrote for her. And it was like, I was getting like, pennies per word, basically.
I believe it, yeah.
And then that's how I started rapping because I was like, there's no narrative that's like me. And now if you think about it, I did 8 projects that are on Apple Music and things like that. And then SoundCloud was really my like most poppin'. Like I was like a SoundCloud rapper who was touring the world. And now if you look, pop culture has caught up. Because like the radio is like Lil Nas X and he's talking about like
exactly. If anybody don't know,
and I feel good about that. I feel good about my contribution to like hip hop culture and what I did and my journey. And that also made me, like, I know a lot of guys, and you probably know this too, from like that didn't make it as much as you, but they were so invested in sports and then they didn't make it as sports. So now they feel like they don't have anything. They're insecure about it. They sell drugs, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And like me, I don't feel that way because okay, this didn't work. Now I'm gonna do this. And now this is kind of working. I'm gonna do this too. Like I'm a brand, like, and this, you can never take that away. And I'm, I don't have to like gloat, but.
Yeah, you're not gloating, but one of the things I'll always remember you for, you always say like, I'm a trendsetter. You always joke. You always like, I'm a trendsetter. Like, man, shut up. You don't get out of here with that. I don't care what it was. You're like, I'm a trendsetter, right? But that's something that, like you said, you were doing 10 years ago. We were watching it. We were seeing you out there, promoting the rap, promoting yourself and what you was going on, being free-spirited, being free-spirited, seeing the things that Little Nas X is doing now, things that you were, you know, not being brave about. You know what I mean? It's just we are in different times now, and things are received a little bit different now. There's always a first.
And
there's always a
good for them.
first.
I wasn't the first, but I will say I can rap better than most of these guys. I'm not gonna lie. And
I know
they never was on my level as an athlete. So
that's facts. I'm not even going to go with that.
What are we even talking about? You know, like, so like now I'm at that level. I'm at that age in my life now where I want success in other areas. I want money. I want a family, and so all that costs money. So right now I'm learning to be an adult. I feel like I lived in this bubble for about 10, 15 years where like nightlife was it. Like I wasn't making a lot of money, but I could tour the world. I could be flown places to perform, get my bag, come back home, bartend, blah, 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 blah. But like, is that going to be popping at like 50? So,
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm on my big boy. So when you see big boy moves,
you on your hold on, big boy moves. So one of the favorite lines that you've ever wrote, I take it to the grave too. I like it. You know, I'm grown man Simba, no lion. I think that was like if anyone hasn't watched the video, the giant video, that line, I'm grown man Simba, no lion.
You're right.
No
you know
lion.
What? I was like, I haven't performed that song in so long, but you know what? I wore a Villanova hat in that video, and the comments, if you look back, maybe YouTuber took it down now, but like back then, Villanova people were not so happy that I was whatever doing. Wow. Yeah, they was in the comments going crazy, and it just only helped it go mini viral or whatever. So like all the people back then that hated,
they weren't true Villanovans. Trust me,
no,
Will.
It's okay. The world is different, and like listen, people make mistakes. I used to think differently about certain things too, but like what they don't, regardless of whether I had braids or blonde hair or blonde eyebrows, I'm a stand-up guy. I'm authentic, and I never did anything to embarrass Villanova. So.
Never. All you do, man, you're one of the best ambassadors, man. I mean, the president of the university will vouch for you.
I was the MC at the 32nd presidential inauguration.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like when the president of the university is about to be introduced, they like, hey, Will, can you MC the event? Can you get everybody ready, warmed up?
It was, you know what it was? It was the combination of the success on the court, but then we were all great people. It wasn't like we were all on our own paths, but we didn't have we didn't really have any, I don't know if you can curse on this, but we didn't have any assholes. Like,
no. So I mean, just an egregious. You're right, but no, you're right. We had real people.
And still to this day, Coach really only recruits quality people, quality players with a good basis. And I think we were all the prototypes for what it is today. And that's why Coach is successful. That's why the program is successful. That's why mostly you only hear good stuff about the players that come, and then they go to the NBA, they're productive. Coach used to be like, I want you to go to the NBA, and I want you to marry a cheerleader. I'm like, Coach, I'm not going to the NBA, but I might marry a cheerleader. Oh my God, that's funny.
Not the way you think, but yeah.
I mean, there is a Villanova alumni out there that I'm like, let's do it. But let's stay on topic. My bad, bro. My bad.
I remember one day, I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump back in. I remember one day you tried to have one of the most uncomfortable conversations with me, but it was a funny one looking back at it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're older. It was about relationships. And I was like looking at you like, I don't know how to respond because I'm looking at it from my point of view, the relationship, and I'm trying to see it through your lens. And I was like, bro, I don't know. And you were like trying to explain the situation to me. You was just like, you know what, Kurt, never mind, you don't get it. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm the last person to be talking about relationships.
Yo, imagine Nardi, like fresh, like listening to my shit all the time. He used to be like, bro, why don't you like dress different or act different? And I'm like, bro, this is me. Like, I can't not, I'm still this. Like,
yeah.
So, back then it was just different. So now. It is what it is. I'm happy that.
But that's the love we
on this
had,
side
though,
of things.
because everyone was cool. Everyone was like, "That's Will, man. That's Will." I remember the
Not
first time we went
everyone
to a
was cool,
party.
and then I warmed down. If
I
you can
remember the
recall.
first time we went to a party. The first time I went to a party, bro, and you got out there, and like I think a couple people were like battling, doing some things, whatever. You know, when a ball team come in a party, you know, we make a little entrance. We want to chill, play the corner, you
I'm
know, a
not a
little
cool
bit.
guy. I'm definitely not cool.
You was like this, move.
I'm like,
He said,
yeah, bro.
move. We like, move what?
You know, sometimes
and you got crazy. We were like, this dude's 6'8" out there getting bananas on the floor. We like, okay.
Oh my God. We used to have some wild nights, bro. For sure.
Oh man, what a time, man. But I want to talk to you. Because we could talk all night, man, about those stories, man. But we're gonna switch it a little bit and talk a little bit about the team. And you know, I got a chance to see you a few weeks ago at the Penn game. We got a chance to see the team do well. What are your thoughts on the team this year and how we looked at? I know we got off to, you know, a little bumpy start, but what do you think overall?
We compete in, you know, our leaders are solid. I think Colin is looking great coming back from his injury. My favorite player on the team is Slater. He's the I don't know, he's like tough, got experience. He is that guy that is just he's the difference maker for me. We got Colin is obviously the stud and star, and you know, everyone can score. I think Moore is genius. Everybody's good. You know, Dixon is a left-handed big man. I love a left-handed big man. I think he's super talented. He's only going to get better. I hope that we can.
He reminds me of you. I don't think he doesn't have your motor yet. He might can get it. I think he's still working on that. He's not a great rim protector as usual. I think you're definitely a better rim protector. You know what I mean? But he has time. His shot is a little bit. That's what I'm saying. He reminds me because his shot was a little bit better than yours.
You know, back then I could shoot, but like, why would I be taking threes if we have 4 people who can shoot threes? But I think he shoots with confidence, and I think, you know, coach is going to definitely lean into that, shoot him up in the streets. As long as everybody's being aggressive, I think we're going to have a good run. We got to just develop our bench. You know, I'm glad that Dada is back because he got the freshest legs in college basketball right now with probably the most experience and rings. So I'm happy he's there. And I really, you know, obviously I'm a Delaware guy. I'm a Stanford guy. So I want Nana to get in there and really get some experience. And that's just going to come later in the season because the longer the season goes, the more we're going to have to dive into that bench. And, I call him Archie number 2. But he's a 6'4" guard. Like when he gets looser, he's gonna be something special for sure.
That's what I mean. Like, yes, I think he needs to go spend a week or 2 at Dykeman. You know what I mean?
I don't have him at Dykeman.
No. But you're right. Like, he's so solid. So solid. You know what I mean?
Just need a little.
I want to see him make a few more mistakes. You know, I
don't want to see him make no mistakes.
Not mistakes, but just get a little free it up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's gonna come with time, and you know, pedigree for sure. I think
he's so good. Like I remember watching a little bit in high school, and then watching him grow there. I mean, he probably knows the program better than anybody, and watching it, his brother go through and knows the expectations. Like he's so good, and he's better than what we obviously see. With all the surrounding talent. So I can't wait to, he takes that next step. You know what I mean? Because I think he's
for sure.
Because I mean, he helped us last year. I mean, bringing the ball up, running the point guard, when Colin went down and showing that he can handle that. You know what I mean? I think he definitely answered some questions there. So what did you think about that game the other day against Baylor, man? I know we didn't play well.
I'm a real Villanova guy, and we just can't we just can't beat them. We haven't beat them yet. So what we do is when we can't beat them, we just don't talk about it.
Enough said.
You know,
Enough said. You know what I mean?
watched the whole game. I watched it start to finish. I think they were just bigger than us at every position. I usually think if we go in the locker room down the first half, we're gonna come out with a different game plan. It just looks like we were working on execution. We were on the road, and you know, obviously, I subscribe to Coach Wright's mentality. We want those road warriors, and we brought it. I don't think we were bigger than we were smaller than them at every position. We weren't making shots, and it's just a learning opportunity now. It's just it's potential to grow. I mean, they are ranked higher than us, so it was a tough game, but you know, I just feel bad for Creighton now. We about to smack them.
Yeah, I mean, our schedule, you know, is
tough.
I mean, you think about the UCLA game there. You think about Baylor at Baylor. You
Purdue
think about
and Connecticut.
I'm gonna say Mohegan Sun, neutral court, but still Purdue. Now, Creighton has never been an easy game for us ever. I don't care since they came in the Big East. Like Creighton always scares me.
First of all, Kurt, have you ever been to Omaha, Nebraska?
Nope.
It is. I mean, it's beautiful and it's peaceful, but it is nothing there, and it's a long journey from Villanova, PA. So when you get there, you can really just like zone in, and I think
shoot the ball.
It'll be the. I think for them, it'll be the time for them to really reflect and execute and get the thing going. You know, get that thing going. Mm-hmm. And once we play them, we got a couple more Big 5 games, and then it's Big East. That's it.
Right. That's
when January hit, they gotta be flowing, or March is not gonna look good.
No,
I got faith for sure. Our team is solid. We got some great scores, solid players, great shooters. You know, I don't know. I mean, Dixon is good, so he's a solid big man. So I mean, he's only gonna get better.
Right, like you said it best, man. We just, you know, it's still early in the season, but you know, we just want to be playing our best basketball towards the end. And as long as we got an opportunity to get in there, we know what it is, man. It's a tournament, you know what I mean? Every week, you know what I mean? It's a 2-game tournament, like you said, you know what I mean? Like we know it to be. And once you get that opportunity to play in that 2-game tournament, you win that first tournament, you get the opportunity to play in another one. And we've been there before. We know how it's done.
Yeah, and we got the best staff in the country too. Like our staff is so solid. I mean, I was listening to Dwayne Anderson's son talk about the scouting report. We were playing at the Fen. I was like, man, his son know the scouting report, so I know the players know it. You know, so, I have great faith in our staff, coaching staff, and our players, and I believe in Villanova always. I'm always on Villanova's side. So I want to again put the powers out there to be that Del State is playing Villanova in the next couple of years, because I would love, like, literally, like, Coach Wright is like a paternal figure in my life, and then Stan Waterman is like a paternal figure in my life, and them playing against each other would be heaven for me.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. How's your mom doing, man? What are your plans for the holidays?
I'm gonna be
in your hood, so to speak. I'm gonna be in.
You ain't gonna hit me up. You be in Delaware doing driving to Atlanta and stuff. Like,
no, I'm gonna be in Dover. You know, my parents got a house out in Dover, so I'm gonna be out in Dover.
Oh, that's like an hour away from me. That's definitely hit me up.
My whole family is crazy. Like a lot of my family aunts are like moving. They moved down to Middletown. They moved to Wilmington. So you know, I'm gonna be in Delaware a lot, you know, for family. So you already know, Delaware is only about the size of Brownsville. I mean, you lived in the neighborhood.
You got jokes. You know, I
about the size of the neighborhood back home.
I have lived in Brooklyn longer than you did, probably now at this point. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it was a good solid 15 years. That's wild, right?
Yo, the funniest thing, I got a call one night. They was like, yo, I'm like, what's up? It's like, I think I just seen your boy walking down the street. I'm like, who? They're like, the guy you played ball with in college. I'm like, who was on my team walking around in Brooklyn 1:00 in the morning? He was like,
oh,
the tall guy, Will, what's his name? I said,
and
Will.
I had
He said, yeah. I said, it can't be Will. And then I found out, I was like, you were living in Brooklyn. You were living like down the street from me. And I was like, oh, wow. He was like, he moved down
Ocean Hill.
And my mom saw you on the
Bed-Stuy,
train.
all that. Right off the Ralph Avenue stop.
Yeah.
Kingston Troop. I mean, that's I'm
my
good.
mom texted me one day. She was like, Curtis, I think I just seen Will on the train. I was like, yeah,
definitely. And you know what? It's like it became a thing where people would be like, yo, I saw the tall dude with the braids and the beard. The tall dude with the braids and the beard. I think he used to play hoops.
You was famous, man. You was famous. See, it ain't matter what the braids, it ain't matter. It was the game. They recognized the game.
For sure. But for holiday, I'm definitely getting with my family for Christmas Eve, and I'm just be around. I'm just, getting reacquainted. I've been in Delaware for a little bit over a year, and I work for a company in Pennsylvania. So I'll probably move closer to there whenever we go back to the office and just working remotely. So
awesome.
Just, getting my adulting on. How long we been talking, bro? Like, this interview long?
I don't know. Well, I'm about to wrap it up. I'm literally about to wrap it up. So I'm
having a great time.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
What you say?
But no, Will. I said you ain't got to shush me. I'm about to wrap it up.
No, never, Kurt, never.
No, I'm joking.
I don't want these people to be like, oh, why are we talking about Will's life so much, man?
No, baby, that's what the interview is about. I want to give everybody an opportunity to know who you are. You know what I mean? I don't want no one to not know who were one of the first pioneers, in the Coach Wright's era to help, lead the program to where it's at today. I mean, you were an integral part to the whole entire development of the team. If it wasn't for that, like you said, those first two classes, getting things started, I think it was, that was able to sustain, and then, guys were able to follow. So thanks for you, coming to Villanova, because Jason, myself, Alan, and Randy, obviously we couldn't get it done.
Oh, nah. We needed everybody needed each other.
No, I'm joking. I'm just saying. But yeah, you and
each
Mike
other.
Class was awesome, man.
It's so wild that we all played like in this bubble and then took it to Villanova. Like, you was from Brooklyn, Nardi was from Jersey, Randy was from Jersey, Al was from the Bronx, Jay from Long Island, and I was from Delaware, but I played for the Players, so I was always in Newark, New Jersey. Like, we used to play the Newark Hams or the Newark Rams all the time. Like, we used to smack Nardi's team all the time. Like,
let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at BetRivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with BetRivers yet, now's the time, because they are offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. What sets them apart is that they just require one playthrough in order to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Pace instant approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer and more reliable and more secure. With the basketball season starting up, get in there now on the action by going to betrivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. You must be 21 years or older, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. So, Will, man, I appreciate for having you on the show. It was awesome. Catching up, talking about old times, catching up, with what's going on currently in your life. I know before we got on this call, you were saying that you was in rehab because you're trying to get ready for this tournament going on.
Physical therapy, not rehab. I've never been in rehab. I do physical therapy on my Achilles. Let's be very clear.
All right. Wait, were you getting ready apparently to take off from the key on somebody this weekend? Apparently, that's what it sounds like to me.
I ruptured my Achilles in 2016, and it was probably the worst year of my life. My dad died that year. A whole bunch of stuff happened, right. And I didn't have healthcare back then, and I did physical therapy with Jeff. So I would drive from Brooklyn to Villanova to do physical therapy with Jeff 3 days a week. And I had to work because I needed money, right? So I did physical therapy just to walk, not to like do sports and stuff. So I started going to these tournaments. I mean, I play on this team called the Rock Dogs. It's in the NGBA, National Gay Basketball Association. They're the most winningest team ever in that whatever thing. And they have this thing like the Olympics, and then they have these destination tournaments every 4 months. And I would go, and so I did Paris for the Gay Games in 2018, and we won gold. But I was just like hobbling.
You got gold medal. Yo, see, You got
I
a
won
gold
2
medal?
gold medals. Gay
You got
games.
2 gold medals on one Achilles.
On one Achilles. My squad is like fire. Like my teammates are like,
That's crazy. Yeah.
they're very serious about sports, and
Nah,
so
that's dope.
they carry the load. But I just want to show up. So I'm going to a tournament in Vegas, in January, and I plan on, you know, blocking a couple shots, you know, maybe get a dunk. So I've decided to do physical therapy. So I've been doing that for about 6 weeks now, and I can do a calf raise, I can do a 1-leg jump. Like before, bro, I was also like, I just, you know, with COVID, I got fat. I was up to like 365, bro, 365 pounds.
365.
I'm like 295 now. When I was in college, I was like 240, 250, you know? So I'm just trying to eat healthy, work out, you know, just because I was Corona, I thought, you know, we thought every 3 weeks it was going to be over, and nightlife was taken away from us. There was no touring, no creating, no nightlife, no bars, no going out. And that was my life for about 10, 15 years. So, it was depressing. So I was just eating and drinking and sitting in a house. And then I came home to like throw my mom a birthday party and just realized, like, you know, I could be being so much more productive here and helping her out, and just being, you know, just catching up with my mom. I haven't lived in Delaware in 17 years. So
I'm with you on that, man. I'm glad she's happy to have you back, man. I miss her, man. She was, you know, one of the great parents. I know my parents miss her as well, and your dad. You know, we always mention and talk about, you know, the parents of all of us. They were friends, and they were also, like, you know, parents to everyone else's kids, you know, because
and they went through the trenches with us.
Exactly. Trips, everything, hotel, you know, everyone was a huge family, because everyone, you know, saw what we see now, you know, developing.
Right.
You know, want to be a part of it, man. But thanks again, Will, for taking this time out, dealing with me, you know, all those years. You know what I mean?
Bro,
really
know, every time
I
see you, I apologize for breaking your clippers, man.
Yo, you should apologize that one time. If it was any time I was like really, really mad at you, I want to say the time we went to Syracuse and you forgot your coat. You tried to take mine and hide it. And I was freezing.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me. I wouldn't do that. That don't even sound like
that was you. It was you, because
no, they literally wrote our numbers in our jackets. There's no way.
You hit it. I know.
Why would I hide your coat, bro? That sounds. I didn't even play like that.
Will, we got off the bus, and you was like, "Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I had your coat. I was worried that Coach Ray was gonna get mad if I didn't have mine, because you know it was a rule. If you ain't had your coat, it was a wrap. You had your coat.
I don't even remember that.
Because I was hiding, Will. I was hiding the whole weekend. I was hiding from the coaches all weekend because I ain't have no coat.
You was good though. You was good.
I was good.
I wasn't good.
I was ready to kill you. We got off the bus back in Villanova in the pavilion. You was like, "Yo, Kurt." I was like, "Well," he was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna, I had your coat." He said, "But you said something like that. I think you was good or whatever." I was livid. If it was any time,
I don't remember that.
I was like,
that didn't happen.
If it was any time I wanted to kill my brother, it was right then and there.
I don't remember that. I don't think that happened. I'm deny. I don't remember that. I can't claim that.
Nah, that's the way to do it. Deny it. That's the way to do it. I'm with you on that. That's the way to do it. But anyway, man, enjoy your Christmas. Give your family my love, bro. And I'm gonna see you soon at one of these games. For sure.
Definitely.
I will.
Stay in touch, and I'll see you at the game for sure.
All right, man. Love you, kids. Go Nova, man. 1.